Okay, so recording has started. So this recording will also be available on our YouTube channel. Let me start sharing my screen and we kickstart the proceedings. Okay. Could see my screen? Yep. Can somebody confirm if you can see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so very much. And welcome all of you to this session on management through movies. And it's an initiative sponsored by Square Sequel Consulting. We meet every fortnight, we pick up a movie and we see what can we learn from that movie. And as a result of that, a disclaimer is we do not mention anything on the content. We do not, it's a disclaimer, you watch it at your discretion. It is also not a review. It is the way we look at movies. And to give you a little brief about this, Square Sequel Consulting is based at Mumbai, headquartered here in India. And we do a lot of work in UAE, in India, and in Europe as well. And without much ado, we'll quickly move forward and tell you that how the flow of the program would be. We'll share the storyline, and then we'll look at the learnings from the movie, and then we will have a Q&A. And as I said earlier, we do not do any recommendations or a review. It's your choice about watching the movie or not. Now, today's movie is an interesting pick. It's called Sky is Pink. The Sky is Pink. And while we were looking at what are the movies which we should pick up, when we started this initiative about a year ago, it was movies across genres. But over a period of time, in the last couple of months, we have zeroed down only on the movies which are based on true stories. Something which has happened in somebody's life and the inspiration has come from there. And that's how we look at the movie. Now, if you look at the movie The Sky is Pink, it's actually based on, it's directed by Shonali Bose and written actually on a real life story of a girl, Aisha Chaudhary, who was suffering from SCID. Now, what is SCID? It's a very, very rare disease. It's called severe combined immunodeficiency, in which the person loses any ability, or there is no immunity per se in the body, right? And as they say that out of 10 lakh couples, only one couple will get it. And this is what the dialogue in the movie shared by Farhan Akhtar is, that maybe they are that couple who, whose child got this disease. Now, this entire movie is actually is a narrative by Aisha Chaudhary, the daughter of the parents of, which is played by Priyanka and Farhan Akhtar. The movie is pretty interesting, and it talks about how this family navigated their daughter's illness as well as their own marriage. And the film was premiered at the 44th Toronto International Film Festival in September 2019. And in the same year, in October, it was also released. Now look at this. The film also received 3 Filmfare Awards. Nominations for the Best Film Critics, Best Actress for Priyanka Chopra Jones, and Best Supporting Actress for Basim. Now, let's look at lessons from the movie. And what could be the lessons from the movie? Well, there are quite a few. The first one is everyone has a different colored sky. Now, this is very interesting. There's a particular scene in the movie when the son of Priyanka Chopra was actually traveling to London to get her daughter treated. Her son is in India, and he's telling the mother that, "Mom, my teacher actually scolded me today because I said the sky is pink colored. When everybody said, you are a Buddhu." She said that all of us have our own sky, and you have to decide which color of the sky, or what is the color of the sky you would want to paint. But that's a very interesting and a very, profound statement, which says that, we always go with conformity, while it is a universal truth that sky is of blue color. But if you look at our own sky, the sky which we define for ourselves, right? The sky with which we live our life with, what color of the sky would you want it to have? Can you choose it to be of a different color, or you also confirm to live the life the way it is being lived by others? I think that was a pretty interesting thought in the first place. All of us have our own skies, and we can decide what color we want to give that sky. Second one is live each day as if it was your last day. Now, most interestingly, imagine somebody who is aware that she's going to die. What kind of a life, or how would you live that life? Interesting, no? Now, this girl, Aisha Chaudhary, knew that she's going to die. However, she said that, do I have to celebrate death or do I have to celebrate life? She was so confused. And she said, if death is the ultimate reality for all of us, why not celebrate death? Now, that's a pretty powerful statement. Uh, Imagine all of us, God forbid it happens any point of time. Bhagwan na kare, khuda na khasta, kabhi aisa ho, but imagine that tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, we all leave this planet. And if I'll tell you, what are the things, you would want to accomplish before you leave this planet, I'm sure there'll be plenty of things, right? I'm sure there are plenty of things which we would want to do. Right? So remember, life is now. We keep on postponing things. Life is now, right? The breath, when we go to sleep, um, there's only a hope that we'll get up in the morning, isn't it? There is no guarantee. I forget about tomorrow morning sun. The breath which I've just taken, there is no guarantee I'll get the next one. I mean, that's the harsh reality. Let's face it. If that is the case, let's live our life in every moment. Let's live our life every day with happiness. And the most interesting part about this family was transparency. If you see that there's a scene in the movie wherein parents openly talk about the health condition of their daughter and what could be the consequences. And I've seen that the moment the transparency comes in, the effort becomes combined. People come together because they become equal partners in that situation, or they become equal partners or problem solvers in that particular problem, right? So over here, it was pretty interesting that the depiction of parents as they're very, very transparent. I think for all of us as parents, this is an interesting lesson about how could we share things, with our children, which will bring in more pull effect of whatever activity which may wish to do, right? Whether it is about, how our day was, or whether it is about how their day was, or whether it is about small things in life, can we bring in more transparency? That was an interesting thought in that movie. The fourth is choosing what gives you happiness. Now, Aisha Chaudhary was given a bone marrow transplant when she was 6 months old in London, right? And then, she was cured. And unfortunately, at the age of 18, she got detected with fibrosis, which was actually the side effects of chemotherapy, which was given to her 13, 14 years ago, right? Now, she was very well aware that this has happened to her. Now, at that point of time, she said, I'm going to choose, what gives me happiness. And what gives her happiness, or what actually gave her happiness, was painting. And she started painting. So much so that she used to openly talk about her death. So much so that there was an instance in the movie when she told her mother that, Mom, I want to create a portrait of yours. And the mom said, no, I don't like portraits. And she said, you will certainly like it when I'm not here, when I'm gone. Right. So choosing what gives you happiness is most important thing, which I believe for all of us in life. And I always say, and I always talk about when people come to me, not only in these kind of sessions, but otherwise as well, that, I want to do this, I want to do that. All I ask them is your soul and the role in sync? Now, what do I mean by the soul and the role? Now, in life, we play multiple roles. For example, back in office, you play the role of a superior, a colleague, a team member. Back at home, you play different roles, maybe of a father, maybe of a son, maybe of a brother. Now, what you really wish to do is something what your soul is, something which you enjoy doing, something which you like to do. And your role is what you're expected to do. So if your role and the soul are in sync, I think happiness will automatically be the byproduct. Let me repeat this. When your soul and role is in sync, happiness will automatically become a byproduct. You will not have to make efforts to be happy, because you're doing what you really enjoy doing. Right? And when you do what you really enjoy doing, you automatically do more of it, which means your productivity will also go up. Right? So choose what gives you happiness. Do what really gives you happiness. Love stands the test of time. I'm sure you might have heard this earlier as well. But over here, the interesting part was the family accepted it that yes, this is the problem with our daughter. However, the kind of bond they share, the way it has been depicted in the movie, that whether she's there or not, love will stand the test of time. So much so that even though in real life situation today, Aisha's family has moved back to London, but their Delhi home, her room is the way the still it is. Her cupboard is the way all the clothes are still lying there. Yeah. So it's it's not about time. It's about the connect. It's about and I always say, have you ever asked? This is a very different take. Maybe some of us may agree to disagree on this but why do we love somebody? Why do we love somebody? You know, and in my opinion, we're all selfish. Now, some of you may disagree with me, but that's all right. But when I say we all are selfish and that's why we love, because the moment we love somebody, we want to give them the best of everything. We want to see the smile on their face. And why we want to see the smile on their face? Because it makes us happy. So if you look at the complete circle, why we love somebody is because we want to be happy. Isn't it? That's a very selfish way, no? But that is something, that is what life is. That is what binds all of us. And that is what that's what, we are not robots. We are human beings at the end of the day. Right? So that's something, love stands the test of time. Come what may. Think of it as another angle. For people who are believers, we all believe in God and we pray. What do we pray? We pray with the hope and the faith and the belief that somebody's listening to that prayer and your prayers will be answered, which means extend it and think of somebody who you love. That person may not be with you right now, but could you share that love in the universe with the hope and belief that that love will be delivered to that person by universe, right? So love stands the test of time. Family first. Imagine, sometimes I wonder that if I look at that couple, they put everything else aside or revolve their entire life around their daughter, right from managing the funds to take her to London, right from doing small things to make the both ends meet, and then ensuring that the mother is staying in London with the daughter for the treatment, the father is with the son in Delhi. I mean, look at the kind of sacrifices they have made. I'm not saying that it's great, but it's a choice which they all made. But at the end of the day, they all did it for their family. And I think in the last year and a half, especially in the pandemic, I'm sure it must have given all of us a different perspective about the family. The kind of support system we get from our family, the kind of bonding we have from the family. So all said and done, the bottom line is family first. Live with as much happiness as you can. Now, as I said, I also watched the TED Talk of Aisha Chaudhary in person, when she was alive. Unfortunately, she's no more now. And she said that she was aware that she's going to die, but that doesn't mean that I can't be happy. She said, either I can be miserable or I can be happy. And she said, I've made a choice to be happy. According to her research, every day around the world, not because of pandemic, but otherwise, every day, close to 2.5 lakh people die every day around the world for different reasons, not just for the corona. This is for pre-corona data, by the way. Right now, if we get that into perspective, all these small rootna manana, all these small fights, which probably go on for a couple of days and then things become better. I mean, I think all those things will come down. All that hatred, all that jealousy, all those things, all those feelings of remorse, all those feelings of penury, all that feelings of I don't have it and she has it or he has it, all that stuff. I think the moment we get that into perspective, we all can be happy. And remember, happiness is your insider's job, by the way. Nobody can make you feel happy till the time you want to feel happy. You can have tons of money, you can still feel unhappy, but you may not have tons of money, but you have a loving family, you can still be happy. So ask yourself, are you living a life which is full of happiness? And maybe this is a simple barometer you could use every day when you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, I mean, are you sleeping with a smile on your face or are you sleeping with worries? Unfortunately, most of us, including me, sometimes we fall into the second category. We always, think, oh my God, this is not done, that is not done. But can we also look at how can we ensure that we have happy moments? We all have memories. How can we create happiness every day? And eventually you will realize they'll become happy memories for us. And again, I'm asking, I'm mentioning happiness is a choice. We all make a choice. Right? Some people say that, Jimmy, yes, easier said than done. Yes, I appreciate that, easier said than done, because there could be days when you may feel really down, when you will feel really, bad. But still, at the end of the day, even in those situations also, we all can make a choice to be happy. In fact, there's this particular scene in the movie wherein the doctor walks up to the parents and said, you know what, don't go on the smile of your daughter. She's in a really bad shape. Right? So in whatever circumstances we may have, at least the least we can do is we can smile. The least we can do is look at things that we have instead of things we don't have. I understand and appreciate and fully empathize. Easier said than done. It is possible. Yeah. And then, what are you grateful for? This little girl in her TED talk after the movie talks about that when I was born, I was born with SCID, which I had no control on, but I was so grateful for the family, which ensured that at least I will live for 18 years. And then she said that all of us, and this is so true, in the next 100 years, all of us will be gone. Of course, at different times, all of us will be gone. But can we look at what we are grateful for? Maybe the roof on our head, the 2 square meals what we get, right? Maybe the nice clothes we have. Right? What are you grateful for? And I think one of the things which can really just really helped me, especially in the pandemic times, to stay sane is having a lot of sense of gratitude. So what I do is when I go to sleep, I always look back at my day, rewind my day, and say, what am I grateful for? And according to neuroscience, it helps in 2 ways. One, it also helps you improve your memory, and 2, it also helps you to look at what you have. And the moment you look at what you have, the moment you're grateful for something, the moment you're thankful for something, you're actually creating space for more. Right? So ask yourself, what are you grateful for? And the last and the 10th learning from this movie is acceptance. Who you are and where you are at. You look at your life. All of us are different ages, different locations, different stages of life. Sometimes we do not accept where we are, which means we keep on resisting the situation we are in. And the moment we resist, what happens? We get stuck. But the moment we accept, we start looking at, oh, fine, this is what the situation is now. What can I do with it? So accept where you are. And by the way, the another way to look at it is each one of us is actually at the place wherein we were ought to be. Now, if that is the case, what do you want to do about it? And what will you do to ensure that you live what you want to live for? So friends, these are around 10 learnings which I thought we could summarize from this movie. The Sky is Pink. It's currently streaming on Netflix. So quickly, I've made a summary of these points as well. Everyone has a different colored sky. Live each day as if it were your last. Transparency as parents. Choosing what gives you happiness. Love stands the test of time. Family first. Live with as much happiness as you can. Happiness is a choice. Ask yourself, what are you grateful for? And accept where you are, what you're doing, and then decide what do you want to do. So here I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We can have some conversations, some questions. And yes, anybody wants to share a thought around here? Any reflections? I could see Atulji making a lot of notes.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure listening to you, Jimmy. And I was taking down these 10 learning to the movie. And actually, believe it or not, my wife had seen the movie while she was traveling to Bangalore, and she was very touched with the movie. And then I saw your mail yesterday, and I immediately registered. I hadn't seen the movie until then.
No, it is very, very emotional movie. It was so difficult for me to, to finish the movie.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the movie until then. So I saw the movie last night because I wanted to partake in this conversation today. So
Thanks. That's
thank
enough.
you for this organizing this. I think you raised some very valid points. In fact, the one that you talked on, where you said that when you doing something that you love, resonates with the Japanese ikigai. You love what you do, and what could be better than if you're also paid for it, and if it
Absolutely.
also serves a social purpose.
Absolutely.
So that's one thought that I had in the beginning, and of course, as the conversations go on, I will express more. So
Sure,
over to
sure.
anybody else who wants to.
Thanks. Thanks so much for that point, Ardul. I think, yes, I mean, that's, that's a blessed state to be in, that you are enjoying what you're doing and you're getting paid for it. Yeah, you feel so blessed. Yeah. And I must admire Mr. Rajesh Fanda. He's there with every management through movie sessions we have done. So thank you so much for the
No,
support,
Jimmy.
Rajesh.
I think we are lucky and blessed by God. We like mentor, coach, friend, philosopher like you. I'm
Thank
very open, very candid, without thinking what I'm saying. But we are very lucky. The jnana or what you are transforming to us, definitely we are passing to our team. Thank you very much. Excellent presentation. Thank
Thank
you.
you. So thank you. And as just to repeat myself, the recording will also be made available on the YouTube channel, which I will also share on my LinkedIn as well as on the WhatsApp as well.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Smita, would you wish to say anything, or Mohit?
Yes, in fact, I do want to ask one thing, Jimmy. Sorry, excuse me, I'm not able to put the video on because there is a Wi-Fi bandwidth issue.
That's all right.
While I agree with you that you're saying that the role and the soul has to be aligned, but it's quite difficult, is what I feel sometimes, because you're playing different roles. Maybe on a family front, on office front. So how exactly do you align that kind of what do you say? I mean, it's quite as per me, it's a little difficult. So will you be able to explain a little more?
Sure. Well, I certainly echo the thought when you say that it is difficult. Yes, it is difficult. However, see what will happen if you do it, and see what will not happen if you don't do it. Now, if your soul and role is in sync, happiness, as I said, will automatically be a byproduct. Number two, your productivity will go up. And number three, the entire ecosystem, the company, the family, and they will be all be in sync. I mean, you'll be actually living a fully satisfied life. Now, if you look at when it is not in sync, what will happen? You'll feel frustrated because you're not doing what you're enjoying, or there is always a gap in what you wish to do and what you're doing. It will have a direct impact on you. It will have a direct impact on your family, because sometimes you will not even realize wherein your frustration from a particular event can actually go, with somebody else. And third, in my opinion, it would be unfair to the organization you are working for, because you have signed up that, yes, this is what I'm going to do 100%, which means
Right.
with my whole and soul. Right now, if there is a gap, the efforts will also be transactional. They will not be, transactional plus emotional. While I understand that it is difficult, but ask yourself, how can you explore figuring out, creating a synchronicity between them? Yeah. And
Okay.
by the way, to each his own. And that's what the first lesson was, that for each one of us, the sky what we have,
Guys, yeah.
yeah, we can color it the way we wish to color it.
Yeah, I mean, that dialogue did strike at a very right note, and it's quite a powerful one during the movie. And
Yeah.
I could also resonate with the feelings that the family went through. So because we had a similar situation in the family,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
with my brother. So yeah, it's very well depicted, and it's a nice movie.
Yes, it
Thanks for
is.
your session, Jimmy. It's always wonderful to hear you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Smita.
so much.
Thanks for taking time out to be here. My recommendation is that please watch the TED Talk as well, apart from the movie, in case if you wish. Or if you want, I can send you the link for the TED Talk to your WhatsApp. And it's just an 11-minute discussion wherein the real time Aisha Chaudhary you actually see, sharing
Please,
her.
please send, Jimmy.
We'll do that, sir. Yeah. And anybody else wants to say anything? Otherwise, we're going to close the session. A good 30 minutes discussion, and we can have a good weekend ahead. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe. Namaste. I really appreciate the support that you came and attended this session. Stay safe and be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.